We are in need of some expansion, so today we're gonna go ahead and get in our military boat, we're gonna sail out to a new area, and we're gonna buy an entirely new island so that we can build bigger military boats. So let's get down from this hill up here into this big green shed and sail off in that direction and capture a new island. Let's get to it. So, although I actually really like this island, it is getting a little bit small for us because this is our build area and obviously we can only build tiny boats. Because we're already going out and destroying large enemy vessels, we need bigger boats. So, let's go ahead and spawn in the one that we started with and, I don't know, get out of here and buy ourselves the new island. Okie dokie, we're in the boat, so let's go ahead and plan out where we need to go, and I believe we're gonna go to here. It was mentioned that I pretty much always go down to this dock and end up buying this first, but it is 60,000, whereas this one over here is only 15, and it gives us a big build area, so that's where we're gonna go first. Here we go, log that into there, let's turn it on, and let's go, go, go! Also, today we're probably going to be building quite a large ship. We'll see. Well, we've made it to the harbor, and it's actually a really cool harbor. I do like this island. Anyway, we need to park our boat literally right here. We're going to go and turn off our engine, and we're going to get outside. Before we do anything else, though, I am actually going to go ahead and grab a few of these, because first aid kits are so useful that I really want one. So there you go. We got first aid kits. I'm now going to get out. And we're gonna go up the stairs. Yeah. Oh, that is a helicopter, but I don't think it's an enemy. Yeah, we're okay. Okay, purchase the island, 15,000. That leaves us with 40,000, which is not too bad, to be honest. If we go ahead and grab this as well, we then have ourselves $68,749. But there might be more, because if we go inside here, we might be able to find ourselves possibly some crates. There are no crates in here. I've basically not found any crates in this series so far. That's insane. You know, sometimes there are actually crates up there or like behind here, so oh okay, right, never mind, there's a crate right here. Bam, 6 grand. I need to go outside and have a little look back there because yeah, generally there is actually one back there on some of those islands. Well, hey! Alright, yes, there was actually one on the other islands, but getting up here was a bit of a pain in the butt. Anyway, there's 10 grand. Excellent. Also, look over there. There's the wind turbines. That looks really cool, actually, doesn't it? That is quite cool. Oh, so I was about to design and build a new boat, but there is actually a mission out here where there are 5 casualties, so we should probably go try and save those. The thing is, there is an enemy helicopter out here, there's a medium-sized vessel out here, and up there is a large-sized vessel as well, so we might end up in some troubles. But I think it's well worth trying to rescue these guys. So let's get the boat out again and get over there. Oh, I see a flare has been launched. Yes, very nice. And the weather right now is actually really good for us too, so we can just sail over there and pretty much park right up. I haven't had any issues with any members of the public, i.e. the enemy vessels, so we're just going to go ahead and sail straight over here. We're going to put out the fire, hopefully very quickly, and we're going to rescue all 5 dudes. Something that I haven't done with this boat is added seats, and I keep forgetting to add seats, and that's really annoying, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn this off. There we go. If I wanted to get across there, that would be interesting, actually. Let's try and put it out from over here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Let's jump aboard. You're already on my boat. That's crazy. Right, you go there. Let's go. Go, go, go. All right, we're on board. Put out the fires as we run forwards into said fires. Here we go. Yes, fire has been extinguished. Dead people. Oh, so many dead people. Well, I defibrillated the dead guys, and now I'm going to go ahead and chuck these guys in here. So there's 1, 2, 3, and we've got obviously 4 on board, because we've got that guy right there. So where's the last guy? There's someone else somewhere. Oh, it turns out they were hiding from me on the other side of the boat. There we go, defibrillate, and bam, 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 bam. There we go, we're good. So, we got everybody on board my boat, except this guy that I've got in my hands. Now, if we jump across onto my boat, we can get out of here. We're going to have to go to the military island first, I think. Let's go ahead and close this door with everybody inside, turn the engine on, and, well, let's get going. So, military island's right here. This is where we're going to have to drop them off. It's the closest hospital. There we go. Alright, turn that thing on. Let's go, go, go. Oh, actually, turn that thing on. Haha, there we go. Nice. Alright, we'll turn around. We'll head in the right direction. And we should get 3 grand for each of these guys. That's pretty good. Right, well, we've made it to where we need to make it to, which is the island. And we're going to grab each of these dudes, and I'm going to jump this way. Hopefully everyone will follow, but of course one of them decides they don't want to. I hate this. It's so annoying, right? Stop following me. Stop following me. You are annoying. Alright, there we go. So follow me, follow me. Follow me and follow me. Right. Let's go. Those flashing lights are very annoying. Okay, so we're about to deliver the dudes. When you do this, by the way, if you guys play this game, what you want to do is heal them all up before you go in there because, well, you get more money. So here we go. We're going to run inside and here we go. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. 5 delivered, 3 grand each. Excellent. I didn't see this last night, but there we go. There's another 8,500. Excellent. We are raking in the money now. This is good. So, what I need to do is travel from here back to our base. Although I do want to shoot down a helicopter. Let's go try and do that. Alright, well, whilst we're on our way over to destroy a helicopter, possibly, maybe, I wanted to ask you guys a question. What do you guys think of the series so far? What vehicles do you want to see in the series? And, I don't know, there was supposed to be another question there, but I don't know what it is. What's your favourite weapon in Stormworks? Let's go with that. Anyway, we're on our way over. Was that a crate? There's a crate back there. I need that. Come here, yo. Oh, never mind. We went straight past it. That is crazy. All right, turn around. We need that thing. Here we go. Right, there we go. $6,500. Very nice. All right, let's get out of here again. We're going. I don't believe the helicopter exists anymore. There is a small vessel down here. Wait, was it a helicopter or a vessel? I swear it was a helicopter. Anyway, there is a small vessel down here and there is a large vessel down here. And realistically, fighting both at once is a bad idea. Also, realistically, fighting one at once is also a bad idea. But we are traveling in that direction, and I'm sure it will be fine. Let's go. Yeah, we're going to travel down there and fight. Oh, this is such a stupid idea. Alright, I was on my way to go fight, but actually, let's go ahead and turn around real quick, because... well, there's something important that we need to do, and that is to fix our chaff. Currently, it fires all of my chaff at once, and clearly that is not good. So, we're going to go ahead and fix that, so that we can fire more. Yeah, because otherwise, if he fires more than one missile at me, I'm just dead. Okay, so, yes, we had 2 that fired at once, and that was it. So, now we're just going to go ahead and delete this row of things right here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go, and we're essentially just going to have it go from here to there, there to there, there to there, there to there, there to there, and there to there, and finally there to there. There we go. So, we got a bunch of flares at the back that can be launched from inside, and we've got a bunch of flares on the inside that can be, on the front, that can be launched from the gun. Now I'm going to go back out there and we're going to fight again. Yeah. Also, just to add to this as well, I am actually going to add a rudder sort of thing at the front, because if my rudder on the back gets destroyed, I need to be able to control the boat from somewhere else. So that's where this comes in handy, because I can put that there, which is opposite to these guys, and this can be our steering as well. So if I chuck that into A and D, that's all good. We're going to go ahead and connect some electricity straight to that, and that's all fine, I think. Yeah. Interesting. Uh-oh, we need to get out there right now because, well, the warship is getting very close to a hospital boat, and it will start firing at it very soon if we are not careful. So, we need to just floor it. Obviously, we're at this island up here. If we zoom past the hospital boat, we should be able to take out the enemy. Maybe. Alright, enemy warship is shooting at, presumably a hospital. Yes, the hospital ship. Okay. That's not great. I need to try and stop. Well, okay, they're firing missiles now. There's nothing I can do about that. Sorry. Okay. Right, I need to slow it down quite a bit, and I need to start opening fire as well. I'm going to put my defibrillator on the ground, and we're going to get on the gun. Here we go. Start firing! Take out the enemy warship right now. I've missed every single shot. Oh no, I haven't. We've hit it a few times. Right, load a mag. Load more. Fire! Okay, we hit it again. It's a bit bouncy out here, but we are hitting a few of these shots. Not all of them though. That's not great. Alright. That's pretty good. Press 2. Okay, higher. Oh, yeah, okay. Our rockets are hitting. They are hitting. He's on fire. Okay, we're out of rockets. Reload the gun. Keep firing. Sorry it's nighttime, but I can't really do anything about that. There we go. Yep. Okay. Oh. We hit like a magazine or something. Yes! Okay. Hospital ship does appear to be on fire, but is still floating. Enemy warship down. Well, that was an interesting day. Let's go ahead and go to sleep. And in the morning, I think I'm going to start designing a brand new vessel. The one we've got is a little bit unstable. Obviously, it may do, or we may do with it. But obviously, there's just too many issues with it right now. So, now that we've got the bigger build area, we can make something a little bit more stable, a little bit more armed, and possibly a little bit more, secure. I don't really know. Anyway, let's start building something, and hopefully it'll be pretty good. Alright, so I'm really trying to think of a way of building a boat around a gun. So how about we just start building a gun first, and then maybe we can go from there. So, the gun that I want to use is gonna be a big one. No, okay, so hang on. If we get ourselves a pivot to begin with, we're going to go ahead and chuck that pivot directly on here like this. Okay, I'm actually going to invert it because I think I need to invert it for it to actually work anyway. We're then going to go ahead and do this, that's okay, and then finally, I say finally, then we're going to go ahead and build it in like so. We're going to get ourselves a seat. We're going to use probably this one, although actually it might be kind of cool to use this. Like weirdly, it might be cool to use that. So let's go ahead and bring this backwards. We're gonna go ahead and bring it upwards, and if I put the seat on top of there, back here, that could be cool. Yeah, alright, so far so good. Yes, it's a motorbike seat, but it doesn't really matter. Anyway, that goes on there like this. We'll go ahead and build that guy up. I'm gonna chuck this guy on here like that. Alright, so far so good. And then we need to start adding the actual cannons. Okay, so if we get ourselves a pivot, here we go. We can shove a compact robotic pivot right there. That's all good. We're gonna go ahead and build this out and forwards. 1, 2, 3, there we go. And we'll just go ahead and build this across the front edge like that, I think. If I chuck this guy on there, that's alright. Nah, maybe we don't do the whole front edge thing, but we can do this. We need the cannons to go on there, so if we type in cannon, we can go ahead and grab ourselves a heavy autocannon, wherever that is. Where are you, heavy autocannon? There it is. And essentially, we need to chuck it on here kind of like this. Okay, so far so good. Alright, we got ourselves some cannons. I am going to go ahead and chuck this guy on there like that. There we go. And I'm actually going to get rid of those for now. Alright, so far so good. What we then need to do is obviously add some ammo for said cannons. And unfortunately, these ammo racks are actually really big. And I'm not a big fan of that. But what if we do this? Ooh, hang on. What if we angle it first, upwards, and we attach one of these guys onto there like this. Alright, so far so weird. And then we actually get, I've never used them before, but a flexible belt. How do these work? I don't know how they work just yet. Is it a rope that we connect? Oh, alright, so let's say we've got that there, and then we build this out like this, and we have, let's say one of these, or a few of these, so 1, 2, let's go with 3 for now. and we chuck that onto there like this. What happens then? Can we actually spin it all the way around? I don't know. I haven't tried this yet. Alright, so let's say that that's all fine, and we attach this onto some floaties real quick. I'm just going to do that like so. There's 1, and there's 2. We're going to go to the other side and do the same thing, so 1 and 2. I don't think that's going to be enough to actually float this, so we're going to add a few more. Obviously, this is just to test the gun for right now, so don't worry about this too much. And then we need a velocity to robotic pivot. We'll chuck that right there. Actually, maybe we'll chuck it a little bit further forward. Velocity to robotic pivot. There we go, chuck that right there. And if we connect this guy to here, we connect current to there, and the target to whatever the seat says. So, oh, we need some function blocks too. 1 second, function, that's trigger number. No, we don't need that. We need this. There we go, so function blocks. We're obviously going to go ahead and connect this guy into here, then this guy into X. There we go. We're then going to go ahead and connect the Y into this one, and this into here and here. Okay. The X value is that times 4. Although I like to go higher than that, but there you go. And then what we need to do is go into here and turn off rotation limit. Alright. Is this going to allow it to work? We're also going to need a battery, so let's chuck a battery on here as well, because we can. Alright, so that goes there. Connect this to here, and here, and here, and here, and here. We're also going to go ahead and connect spacebar to the trigger button, and hopefully that'll be good. What we might also need is an actual feed as well, but I'm going to see if I can turn this gun all the way around. I don't know if it'll work. Oh yeah, look at those belts. Alright, so if we get in the seat, for example, and we start... Oh, it's a bit inverted, but that's okay. I can actually twist it all the way around, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah, alright. So it looks a bit weird, but I think it would actually work. Maybe. You know what, actually, maybe if this was on the top instead, maybe that would actually be better. So if we try and grab this entire setup, we flip it over, we turn it around, we press U, we bring it down, and attach that directly onto there like that, I think that's actually going to be nicer. Yeah, alright, let's go ahead and cut this one as well, flip it over, turn it around, press U, bring it down, and paste it on there. That'll be pretty good, actually, yeah. Merge that with that, merge that with that. This could be awesome, maybe. Okay, so if this is the setup we're gonna go with, I guess what we need to do is have a hole in a hull that allows one of these guys to be in it. There we go. So we build this around here, build it around there. There we go. On the underside of there, I guess we're gonna need a feed. So if we go to AUTOCANNONS, we're gonna need a feed thingamabobby that sends it upwards. There we go. And then essentially we just need some ammunition in the hull. And there we go, that'll do me. So we got 2 large drums in the hull. We've gone ahead and got 2 small drums up here that we can shoot to begin with. And that's all good to me. So I guess we need to build a boat around this. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, so I guess that can be our hull shape, sort of, right there. All we really need to do in this situation is build it up and forwards. The thing is, that might be quite a tricky thing to do. Maybe, but who knows? So let's just go ahead and go with it. Chuck those guys onto there. We'll actually do another 2 of these. Oh, that's a very pointy boat. But actually, a pointy boat sometimes is kind of a cool looking boat. So if we chuck those onto there, that's fine. If we then separate it and we go ahead and start putting these guys on, then we build it forwards like this. That actually makes it look really good, I think. So, as long as we chuck it on correctly. Hold on, there we go. And then we do these guys. We should be good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right, so, I guess what we could do now is just zoom these guys down the sides like this. This will make it look a bunch nicer, I do believe. There we go. And then if we attach these guys onto here, like that, we can chuck this guy. Nope, not that one. This one. Into here like this. Oh, yeah. And then I'm going to do it one more time, I think. Yeah, just chuck those guys onto there. Chuck these guys onto here. Do this one onto there. And finally, this one onto here. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, check those guys into here as well. We're going to go ahead and fix this up as the bottom of the boat. I am going to go ahead and trick this into here and do that. We're going to go ahead and do this guy as well. There we go. And finally, this one. Okay. Right, they're weird, but I think it'll work. I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I'm gonna have like a little bit of a deck on the back. It wasn't the original plan, and realistically, there is no original plan because I didn't know what this was gonna look like. But I think I'm gonna have to have a little bit of a back deck for this to actually work. So I guess leave that one there, and then we can just zoom this backwards from about here, and this can be the back deck. Meaning that our boat is actually very skinny this way, which will make it a little bit unstable, but might be still kind of cool. Who knows? Let's go ahead and just zoom this across here like that. There we go. We can just go ahead and trick this guy on the bottom, just like so, and just keep it going backwards with these guys. There we go. Alright, chuck that onto there. Finish up the back end just like this. Very interesting. Kind of weird, but very interesting. I tell you what though, it does sort of still look like a military boat, to be honest. In fact, it looks a lot more like a military boat than I intended originally, but that's okay. So, let's have a little look around, see if there are any holes. I do believe this might end up being a hole right here. And that's not what we want. That is not what we want. So, what I'm going to have to do is just box this off. There you go. It's just going to be part of its own little thing. Its own little box. There we go. Go across the bottom just like this. Get rid of these guys. Get rid of that. Get rid of all this. And now she should float. Hopefully. Yes. Alright, let's go ahead and start working on the back real quick. Try and make that look a little bit nicer. And then we can build a bit of a bridge. We can put the engines in. We can make this thing move. And it's like a really tiny military ship. I think I'm just going to leave it like that, actually. Yeah, I am. I've just sort of curved it off at the back. We've got a little bit of overhang. This still has a hole in it, so it's still buoyant back here. It's just not as buoyant as the rest of the ship, which is fine. What I'm going to do from there is actually get some pipes real quick. We're going to chuck the pipe directly on the back end, and I'm going to shove it around here. Actually, here, probably. We're going to chuck it to about there. We're going to get ourselves a propeller. We're obviously going to chuck a large propeller on the back. There we go. That's currently the only thing that actually has any thingamabobby on it. That currently has any color on it. And that's fine. From there, we're just going to go ahead and chuck some rudders on, because that's what we do on every single boat. I wouldn't actually mind using these rudders either. I rarely use these things, but honestly, they are perfect for this job. So there we go. Check those guys on there like that. They're lined up centrally. That's all good. Let's go ahead and paint the bottom of the boat now, all in red, and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, there we go. That works. We're just going to go ahead and get rid of that bit right there. That looks, hey, it looks interesting. I don't know how I feel about actually adding a proper bridge onto this. I think the bridge should be this height. So I guess we just go ahead and start adding some windows on, and hopefully it'll look good. Who knows? So yeah, something like this would actually be pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and delete these guys real quick. Do something like this. We then grab this guy. We'll shove it on there like this. Ooh. Yeah, like this. There we go. We'll chuck that guy into there. Although that's kind of skinny. That's too skinny. I think it's this one. But is that too high? 1, 2, 3. No, that's probably about right. We're then going to go ahead and chuck other pieces on here. So we need a 1x3, which is this guy. So that goes there. And then we need a 3x3, but angled, right here. There we go. And then we attach one of, where is it? One of these guys? Oh no. Maybe one of these guys, here we go, onto this corner, just like that. And then we build it backwards from there. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit weird, but it is what we want. It actually is what we want. All right, get rid of all of these. Check this piece into all of those. There we go. And that's fine, I think. It looks a little bit like a speedboat right now, but it's okay. Okay, so I've gone ahead and obviously added a bit of a bridge under this, and I've also put the floor in, but as you guys can see, the floor is definitely lower than the front of the boat, and it's extremely lower than the back. Well, it's not actually. It's extremely lower than the front, but actually, it's lower than the back of the boat too, which is where the deck is, which feels weird, actually. It feels very strange to me, but I don't know where our funnel should go. I'm not sure. Yeah, no funnel on here, actually, so let's go ahead and delete these guys. We're going to add a door directly onto the back of this. There we go, so we can actually exit out of there. I am going to go ahead and seal this off, kind of like this, and then we can add like a tiny little walkway type dealio right here, and some stairs. Literally like a step. That's all we need. There we go, a step going in right there. What we'll also do is add some railings. Again, because, well, we can. So that's going to go on there like this. There we go. I am going to go ahead and chuck this onto here. 1, 2. And we're going to go ahead and do this guy right here like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of these. Okay. So far, so good. Alright, so, I don't know about a funnel, but I actually think it might be kind of cool to add this along the side, kind of like this. And then what I'm going to do is add some of these guys as well. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 3? Yeah, I guess 3. We can also do 3 right here. But I think, yeah, that goes into there. Don't know how I feel about that bit. How many is this? This is 4 wide, so I can't really line it up with the windows either. Unless I put it on its side, and we did it like this. But even then, I feel like that's kind of weird. Because it would have to be, like, really high. Yeah, that's too big. It's too big and too weird. So we got to come up with a different design. I think I'm just going to go with 3 of these along the bottom. 1, 2, 3. And I don't know. Can I come up with anything else that needs to go down there with those? I don't think so, actually. Yeah, I don't think so. Other details that I do want to add. I'm just going to go ahead and chuck this guy onto here like this. We're going to do 2 of those. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing right here. And we're going to do it along the boat as well. Gonna add that guy into these windows. That's all good. And then at the front of the boat, we'll do 1 here. And 1 here. And then finally, 1 like right here. There we go. If we go ahead and add some rope anchors into each of those, I think that'll be sick. Although, it is a bit big. I'm gonna add rope anchors directly underneath them. Although this one I can't. That's fine. Alright, shove those guys into there and there, shove this into here, shove this into here, and then we're going to go ahead and get a pipe, and we're just going to chuck it in the center of each of those to hopefully look nice. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and there's 5. Alright, interesting. Oh, yeah, I think this'll work. I really do. So we got the cannons mounted on the front, and I have built it in a way that we sort of have to sit on the cannon to use it. But we kind of don't need that, really. We kind of don't want that either. It'd be nice to be able to aim the cannons from within the boat. However, trying to aim them properly might cause some issues. So, I guess we could try it. We could actually try it, but then I've built all of that and it just sort of doesn't work. I don't know. Anyway, if we jump back across, let's go ahead and attach the actual connectors. So this, oh, it needs one of these on here, but it can't. Oh, are you serious? It needs to go there and I can't do it because this is too close. But if I delete those and I actually just shove it on here like this, then I can add one of these guys like this, and I could probably actually just seal this in. There we go. Right, connect that to there, connect this to here. Let's give it a battery and see if we can still spin it all around. It might be that we actually can't, but we'll see. So, connect this guy up to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then need the velocity pivot stuff again, but I need this in an area where I can actually fix it if it gets hit. So we're going to chuck it back here. Actually like that. There we go. We're also going to go ahead and get ourselves a function block again. Actually, no, we're not. No, we're not. We're going to get rid of this. Oh, but that looks weird. It feels weird to get rid of that bit in the middle. It really does. Maybe if we just do this, and we do this, we paint the floor bit, this guy, and we just add little, like, shields under here, that could be fine. Maybe. Right, merge those guys together. We're actually going to go ahead and delete this one on the very edge. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and do this guy in the center. I think. I don't know. We're also going to need a camera as well. So let's go ahead and get a camera next. Shove that guy directly into the center like this. And just shove this guy on top. Alright, there we go. Bit weird, but hopefully it works. Maybe. Alright, this actually looks pretty sick, to be honest. So if we were to aim... I don't know, what should we aim at? There's not really anything to aim at right now. Let's try and just shoot there. Here we go. Yes! Alright, so if we were to aim at these containers... That works. That totally works. I think aiming is going to be a little bit difficult, but I would rather be inside than outside on the front of this thing whilst fighting an enemy. It also allows me to drive and dodge things at the same time, which is pretty good. Yeah. Alright, I also want to figure out how much ammo we've actually got left. That would be a good thing to know. It'd be a really good thing to know. So if we jump on here and we have a little look, this says 17 out of 20. That says 17 out of 20. And well, it's not going down. But I think it will. Eventually. I don't know. That's a lot of shots. It hasn't even got overheated yet. Okay. Right, well, I'm extremely happy with this. I'm also just going to go ahead and add some muzzle brakes onto there. I just think it'll look better, so that's what we've done. Okay, it is now engine time. So let's go to engine and just shove some engines in here. We're going to go with... what do we go with, actually? I think we go with the small ones, and let's try and plumb this into the right place, which is there, apparently. Hang on, let's go ahead and get this in first, and then we can figure it out from there. So, angled pipe, I believe it's this way round. There we go. We then angle it this way, and we send it in. Yes! Okay, 1, 2. I need to do this on the other side as well. So it's right here, there we go. Delete that guy, grab this one. Shove it on there like this, shove that on there like that, attach these guys, 1, 2, there we go. Alright, very nice. What I'm then going to do, actually, is just paint this piece. We're going to have to go to... Wait, actually, why was that painted in the first place? I don't know what made me paint the floor. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and quickly paint this. Not that we'll ever see that again. And then we need to start doing the engines. We do. Alright, how do we even go about doing that? I don't know. Anyway, if I type in engine, here we go. We're going to go ahead and start with the cylinders. And we're going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cylinders. We're then going to go ahead and get the crankshafts. Here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to go ahead and shove this guy on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 5. There we go. And then this side. Hold on. Turn it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes! Alright, what does that mean? Well, that means we now have 20 cylinder engines. 2 of them. Okay, so now what we're going to do is attach all of these engine bits together, and then we're obviously going to have to give them fuel, we're going to have to give them air, we're going to have to do the exhaust, we're going to have to do all of that stuff, but first, we obviously need to attach them together, so that's going to go there, this is going to go here, we'll go to the other side, do that, and we'll do that right there. What that means is all of these cylinder banks are all attached together, and that allows us to just put air in one of the banks, and it gets to all of them. I'm also going to delete these 2, because realistically we're going to need a gearbox, and possibly a generator too. Okay, well, what I want to do now, really quickly, is attach the exhaust on, so that's going to go there, and unfortunately it actually has to go up and out here. Yeah, which means this guy is going to go right here like this, and unfortunately those are actually going to be useless. What I want to do as well, though, is actually add some extra ones, just so that it looks a little bit nicer. But if we go to pipes really quick, we can go ahead and shove this way. In fact, what if we actually have one side of this be against a wall? I know that makes, like, little to no sense, but if we have an extra, like, barrier right here, it might be a good defense for our engine. And when I say a good defense, it's probably not, but it is what it is. Anyway, attach this up to the roof. We're going to go ahead and do this one all the way back across there. We're going to put some flood defense in here. We're going to put some flood defense, obviously, in here. We'll separate this room in half, and then we'll put some flood defense in here, and in here as well. So, yeah, we're going to separate all of these pieces. I should probably focus on one thing instead of going across everything, but, I don't know. I get distracted very easily. Yeah. Alright, the next thing we need to add is an air supply. That is going to be a little bit more annoying, but it's fine. Before we do that, though, obviously we need to pipe the actual exhaust up here. So let's do that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. And then get ourselves one of these guys to go in there like that. Okay, that's good. The air supply is going to be a bit different. I am going to go ahead and pipe it this way to begin with. Like so. Although I am going to do it in this color. There we go. We're going to do that. And then we're going to have it go upwards from there. Straight through to here. And then we're going to zoom it this way because, well, it needs to go up here. Although, I actually want it to go sideways first and then up there. Because I think I want a window here. I'm pretty sure I want a window there. So we're just going to go ahead and chuck this guy in. This is going to be our window. 1, 2. And then, yeah, obviously a pipe will go from here all the way up to there. Okay, coolant next. We're actually going to go ahead and add a pump that pumps it out and a pump that pumps it in, which, you know, makes a lot of sense. We're then going to go ahead and get some fluid ports for those pumps and just chuck them on the bottom. There we go. Actually, let's do it in white. Bosh, bosh, there we go. All right, paint that guy, paint this guy, paint that guy. There's a lot of painting to be done, and that's okay. So it goes through a pump, through the coolant, out the pump. Yeah, I don't know if that's actually the best way of doing this. Probably not, but it looks kind of interesting. Anyway, what that means is we've got the air supply, we've got the coolant, we've got the exhaust. Now we just need the fuel. I want some fuel tanks in here, and we're going to go for the default fuel tanks. If you don't know why I'm using these, essentially, if we get shot by anything, these don't leak or actually fill up with water. So that's why I'm adding these guys. I'm also going to go ahead and box this off, sort of just like this. In fact, we should probably just box it off from here, to be fair. So let's just go ahead and do this guy. We're going to get ourselves a hatch, and we're going to shove that in. And that will allow us to walk from the front to the back of the boat. Yes. All right, very nice. Yeah, just in case you need to fix the engines. That's pretty cool, actually. All right, cool. So now we just need to attach the fuel onto the fuel tanks. Yeah. I am going to do it on the floor. Although maybe that's a bad idea. It's probably a bad idea. Let's go ahead and raise it up to the roof. There we go. We're then going to send it forwards like this. There we go. And then we'll obviously shove it down into there, which is really weird because obviously this is a bunch of extra pipes, but it is what it is. All right, so do this one too. Do this, and we're going to go ahead and do this. All right, cool. I mean, it's weird, but it should work. Okay, I wanted to test out what it actually sat like with the fuel tanks full, and that is the fuel tanks full of water, which looks alright, actually. It does look like it's sitting actually pretty well. Yeah, good. I want to change something up on the back of this. I'm going to go ahead and delete this guy, and I'm going to go ahead and delete that guy and this guy, and I'm going to add a ladder onto there. That is correct. We're adding a ladder only on one side, though, just so that we can actually get from the back of the boat to the front of the boat relatively easily. Otherwise, we might have some problems. So let's just go ahead and attach that onto there like so. I'm going to add a pipe really quickly, and I'm just going to do that right there. Alright, very nice. So now we can climb from here up to the top and over the roof, I guess. Alright, I've added some hatches on the inside now so that we can actually get through the hatches to these guys to refill them with ammo if we need to. And that might be a thing that we need to do, so we need some spare ammo down here somewhere. So we're going to go ahead and have 2 spare rounds, or 2 spare mags, I guess, down here. They're all going to be armor piercing, so let's do it! There we go, armor piercing. If we ever have to shoot down a helicopter, that might make things a little bit difficult, but it is what it is. I want to give it a little test, so let's go ahead and do this, and this. There we go, the engine works. Do this and this. Again, the engine works, and now if I press W, nothing's happening. Okay, so the engines are on, but it's not moving. Weird. All right, here we go. Let's see if it moves. Okay. Right, we've started moving, which is pretty nice. I don't know what kind of speed we're at. 8. All right, we needed to go faster than this. So I think I'm going to have to work on the gearbox and stuff like that for a little while. But that's okay. We also still need a mast. We need some lights and some other stuff. There's quite a lot of stuff that we need. Also, it's slowing all the way down. I don't know why. Okay, lights. How are we going to go about doing those? Well, I think we can just type in lights. Yeah, I'm smart like that. We can then go ahead and do this. There's one right there. We could shove another one right here, and possibly another one like right here. There we go. So that's 6 lights on the front. We're then going to go ahead and shove one down here because, well, we can. Although we can't do that on both sides, so actually we'll put it here. There we go. I'm going to shove one right there, and I'm going to shove one at the back like this. That is 6 on the front, 6 on the back. Okay, so far so good. What we're then going to do is add our nav light situation. So that guy is going to go right there. I'm going to attach this guy onto here. Going to attach that guy onto there. And I'm going to do this. Alright, so far that looks a bit weird. I could actually just do that though. Yeah, I mean, I guess that looks okay. We're then going to need an actual mast, so let's chuck that guy right there. Zoom this backwards. We'll actually attach this guy onto here. We'll go upwards a bunch, and I guess we'll go upwards a bunch like this as well. Okay. I am going to attach these guys together like that, and we're just going to go ahead and fix this. So, hopefully, if this goes up a little bit more, actually from like the center-ish, then maybe that'll look okay. Who knows? Not me. Alright, can I attach that down? That looks a bit crazy. That looks really crazy. No, get rid of all of that. Get rid of all of it. Yep. I want the mast to look nice, but I'm just bad at making them look nice. Let's just zoom it. There we go. We've zoomed that one upwards. We are going to go ahead and just delete this and put that in. There we go. And I am just going to go ahead and attach it down to the floor like this. And boop. And also boop. Okay. Little tiny mast has been added. Sort of. What we're also going to do is attach these guys obviously onto the sides, bigger at the bottom, and then at the top we're going to add a light. This is our nav light going backwards, and we're just going to go ahead and add these guys to the top. And then I guess one more of these. There we go. Alright, looks a bit crazy, looks a bit weird, but I think it'll work. Alright guys, some slight modifications were made to the engine, and when I say slight, we've pretty much doubled the size of each of the engines. Is there a different way of doing that? Well, yes, I suppose there is, but actually, I really like what we've got going on here. Our speed right now is 23 meters per second, going up to speeds of around 28. Actually, even more than that, which is actually really, really good. So, what do we need to do now? Well, we need a way of getting down into the engine room. We need to go ahead and add a bunch of equipment into this as well. And we need a way of getting around the boat just in general. So, yeah, let's go ahead and fix this up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to need a hatch that allows us to go through the floor, obviously, to get into, well, our engine room and stuff like that. It needs to go around here. There we go. And I think that's sort of fine. It is a bit annoying. It's sort of in the middle of the room, but it is what it is. So that should allow us to come downstairs. I'm going to go ahead and delete a little thing right here, which is going to be where our ladder goes. And that should be good. So ladder goes there, ladder goes here. We're also going to put a ladder there and a ladder here, and we're just going to attach those together like so. All right, there we go. That'll allow us to get downstairs and upstairs if we need to. Okay, right. That's fine then. Yeah. What we also need to add is obviously a bunch of pumps that pump out all of the edges and also all of the rooms down here. And actually this room as well, because sometimes we do get water in there. So let's do that next. Guys, I've added a bunch of pumps into this thing. We've got them everywhere. So there's one, actually there's 2 in each room. So there's 2 in the front. There is 2 in this tiny room right here. We've got 2 in this huge room and 2 in the back, all of which have little air ports on the sides or the tops or whatever, so that there is free flow for air. What else do we have going on? Well, we need to actually add some more things because, well, we need a flare launcher. for chaff so that we can survive missile launches. So on the roof, we're going to go ahead and delete these guys like this. We're going to go ahead and shove these guys in. And actually, let's do them all in white. Here we go. I'm also going to delete that one. Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. Each of those is going to fire individually. So if we need it to pop, let's go ahead and press 2. So that goes into there. We then go into there. We then go into that one. And essentially, we're just going to go ahead and keep sending this across and around so that, well, the flares will all get launched. Yes. I think this makes sense anyway. That one goes down to there. This one goes down to here. This one goes down to here, to there. Across to this one. There we go. Slowly but surely, we are getting it all sorted. There we go. So we got a lot of chaff that will get launched. What we need to do now is go through each of these and actually make them chaff. Oh man, this is going to take forever. Okay, all the chaff has been sorted out. Now it's time to go on to the lights. So I'm going to delete these two right here and these two right here. We're going to get some buttons. And we're just going to go ahead and chuck them in there. I don't know why I didn't mirror that, considering they're all the same, but that's fine. Anyway, spotlights are going to go on this side. There we go. And I guess deck lights too. There we go. So spotlights and deck lights are going to go right here. Bosh, 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 bosh. Excellent. On this side, we're going to have interior lights. And we're also going to have the nav lights. There we go. Alright, very good. So, let's go and connect the nav lights first. That's this one. It is that one. It is this one as well. There we go. Nav lights are all connected. Spotlights, let's go ahead and connect those. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the spotlights connected. Deck lights, let's go ahead and do those next. So we got this one. We got this one. We got that one. We got that one. This one and this one. And then the 6 at the front. So one there, one there, one there. We're then going to do that one. This one and this one. And there we go. Deck lights have been sorted too. Finally, we have interior lights, which currently we don't have any. So let's go to lights and add some on the interior. On the interior. Kind of don't mind the idea of it being there, but actually, let's just go ahead and place it here. On both sides, obviously. There we go. And that's fine. Alright, we're going to go downstairs, and I'm actually going to go ahead and plumb 2 into here as well. And one back here somewhere. That'll do. Alright, good. We're then going to shove 2 in here as well, so maybe just like this. There we go. We can't actually get into this room, so this one doesn't matter. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and connect all those up. And then I guess we're sort of ready to go out and test it properly. Alright, that's not too shabby then. What we need to do next is obviously paint these pieces. There we go. And then we need to actually add some equipment into here. So, fire extinguishers, very, very useful. Let's go ahead and shove that on there like so. We are actually going to have one towards the front of the vessel as well. I'll actually put it at the front in the floor just like this. There we go. We're also going to have one at the back, and I'm going to put it right here. There we go. We're also going to need a welder in those places. So a welder right here, a welder right there, and possibly a welder right here as well, just so that we can maybe fix things. There we go. What else do we need? Well, on the rear, I'm actually just going to go ahead and put these guys in next. So we've got a hose, we have a cable, and we're also, I guess, just going to have a rope. There we go. Hose, cable, and rope. That looks pretty good. I'm also just going to go ahead and send that across there because I can. Okay, I'm going to go to cable real quick, and I'm actually going to add one of these cable anchors onto the boat as well. Yeah, I feel like it is not super necessary to have one of these, but if we do run out of electricity at some point, we can obviously just connect onto that and it'll be fine. And there it is with all the lights on. Okay, very good. I also added a med bed. I added some equipment right there. I've added some seats because we might need some seats. I want to be able to see if I can get downstairs to the engines. Here they are. They are absolutely massive. We got the fuel tanks right here as well in case I need to fix those. And if we need to refill the ammo from this drum into the actual drums in there, we just open up the hatch and we start doing that. Very good. I do want to make sure this is currently off. Yes, that is currently off, and that's fine. Our electricity is going down, but that's okay because our engine isn't running, and our lights are. Alright, so we're good. We are in a good situation. I think. I don't know. Right, okay, we've also got a heater right here just in case we need one, and that is all good. I'm also wearing ballistic armor, which is good too. So, one last thing that we gotta do then is put in a bit of an autopilot so that we can get to places that we need to get to quite easily. That makes a lot of sense to me. I'm also gonna go ahead and, well, do a line as well. Not like do a line in, you know what I mean. Yeah. For those of you old enough to know what doing a line means, yeah. What am I even saying? Anyway, right, I'm gonna go ahead and paint this little line in right here. We're gonna paint this little line all the way through there. And I'm gonna send it to the front. Hopefully without doing all of this business. Hold on, get rid of those. I am just gonna go ahead and send this across. I'll do it where the lights are. Yeah, we'll do it where the lights are. I should probably actually just mirror. This will be easier. There we go. Alright, very good. I'm also just gonna paint that a little bit too. Okay, right, save it! Save. Good. Alright, I don't actually want to sail all the way out there and do this mission, to be totally honest with you guys. It's really far, well, it's not actually really far away, but it's quite far away. So, yeah, interesting. I did want to see what this boat would be like actually sailing around, and honestly, it's very sturdy. We are very flat in the water. It looks pretty good. And I do believe we'd be able to destroy an enemy ship. But there are no enemy ships nearby, so I can't actually test that out. That's a bit annoying. Well, anyway, I guess in the next video, we'll probably end up using this thing to destroy something, or we'll get destroyed. So, join me next time in this hardcore career mode, war career mode, I should say, where we're building things, and we're doing things, and it's pretty cool. I do think it'd be kind of interesting to have like a mini helicopter mounted on the back of this, but I don't know about that just yet. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.